Hello and welcome. Glad to have you join us on Health Matters. I'm Decay Rogers. Today on the program, we'll explore the world of oral health, discussing ways to maintain a healthy smile. Our attention will be on how to prevent dental caries. That's tooth decay, which is a major oral challenge, especially for children and adolescents. Stay with us for the details after this short break. Welcome back. According to the World Health Organization, oral health diseases are among the most common non-communicable diseases worldwide, affecting an estimated 3.5 billion people, particularly in low and middle-income countries. We'll be focusing on one of the oral health challenges, and that is dental caries, otherwise known as tooth decay. My guest on the show is a registered dental surgeon with several years of practice experience, Dr. Victor Nwabudike, who is a dental family dentist. He's also the chairman, Ethics and Disciplinary Committee of the Nigeria Dental Association. A pleasure having you on the program today.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Right, so maintaining a healthy smile is a lovely way to put it.
Yeah.
Now, how do we do that?
There are ways you can maintain a lovely smile by maintaining healthy mouth. Mm-hmm. It's only a healthy mouth that can give you a lovely smile. So you basically have to learn to do the right things to maintain good oral health. And for you to maintain good oral health, you have to learn to practice good oral hygiene. So there are things that you're supposed to do to make sure that you enjoy heat-free, stress-free, and pain-free mouth.
Yes, as much as we try and do that, I mean, we always come across challenges here and there, and that's because the mouth, the oral cavity, is one of the most common areas where you have germs,
yes,
bacteria, let me put it that way, living. And, you know, so how do we, you know, prevent this common disease, tooth disease that we've talked about, that's the caries. I mean, how common is it anyway?
Okay, fine. It's very common. In fact, it's about the commonest disease afflicting man, not just dental disease, general disease afflicting man. And in Nigeria, statistics are varying. Sometimes, some parts of the country, there are varied reports about percentage of the prevalence of the condition, but generally it's a very common disease that afflicts man. The next is also periodontal problem. So, but for dental caries, really, if you want to prevent it, first and foremost, you have to learn to brush. Maintaining good oral hygiene is very important. Maybe I should start by building a background on what the dental caries is all about. Is it necessary?
Yes.
Okay, fine. The disease, as it stands, it's caused by bacteria in the mouth, and then there are so many factors that are responsible for the emergence or development of that disease condition. So if this interplay of factors along with the bacteria, they coalesce, they act together, it gives rise to what we call drop in the pH of the mouth, that's the acidity level of the mouth, and that tends to dissolve the hard tooth tissue, and then goes ahead to form the cavitation that you see. So what people should learn to do is to prevent it. There are actually 3 levels to it. We have the primary prevention, the secondary prevention, and the tertiary prevention. The primary prevention is to make sure that you don't even allow it to start in the first instance. So those causative factors that cause tooth decay, you try to prevent them so that the disease does not even start in the first place. That one is one of the major areas you can do that is to ensure good oral hygiene practices. And one of such is brushing your teeth twice daily with a fluoride-containing toothpaste. Now, that's important, but most important is to ensure that the toothpaste you use is endorsed by the Nigerian Dental Association. The reason is that there are toothpaste in the market all over the place. Most of them are not endorsed by the association. And why we advocate the ones we endorse is because when we take them to lab, we have an alliance with Drug Quality Control Lab at LASUT Ikeja, where we take our products to. So when they do biochemical analysis, we also do clinical trials on them, and we are sure that they are biocompatible. They are not injurious to the mouth. So those are the ones they should look out for it. In the pack is written there, endorsed by Nigerian Dental Association, or to carry our logo. Those ones are fit for use, and they're endorsed by the association. Apart from that, you also learn to brush using the right technique, and then the right duration. And then people should also learn to change their toothbrushes at least once every 3 months, or when the bristles begin to show signs of wear, or if it begins to wear out. So that's on the one hand. That way you can reduce the bacterial load in your mouth. There's what they call plaque that harbors those bacteria in your mouth. That brushing twice daily helps to reduce the bacterial load, because the tooth decay cannot even start in the first instance if there's no bacteria in the mouth. And then the next thing is the substrate, which is diet. What you eat is what the bacteria in the mouth acts on to give out that waste product, that's lactic acid that causes the dissolution of the hard tooth tissue. So if you learn to eat fiber-rich diets, take more fruits and vegetables, as against the snacky diets, those sweets, cakes, pastries, and the likes, those ones are called ketogenic diets. Those are the ones that those bacteria feast on and then drop the pH of the mouth and lead to cavitation. So if you also avoid this ketogenic diets, then you will also be saved of this cavitation in your mouth. You'll be preventing dental caries. Another one is also visiting your dentist at least twice every year for what they call scaling and polishing. If you go there, the dentist or the therapist will clean your mouth because they are difficult or hard to reach areas by your toothbrush. So those things help to remove the harbor or the habitat for these microorganisms, and to help to reduce the bacterial load, and that will help to prevent this tooth decay.
Right.
So these are at the primary level. For the secondary, that is when you identify it early and then try to reverse the process, because the process of tooth decay is reversible. If the hygiene practice is good, you put in the right measures, the process can reverse, which is a remineralization. Yeah. You understand? So, but if you can, at the secondary level now, if we pick it early, and then we institute things like topical fluoridation, or you do community water fluoridation, or patient brush properly. And you know that as you're brushing, of course, there is fluoride in your toothpaste. It makes contact with your teeth and helps to reduce also the effect of that bacteria in your mouth. So that can reverse the process. So at that secondary level, it's what we call incipient caries or white spots. There's no frank cavitation, but there's already loss of minerals. You can see them as white spot lesions. If you now do or imbibe the oral hygiene practices, it can reverse, and that tooth will not cavitate, it will not break down. It will not reverse and become firm and strong again. That's at the secondary level. And tertiary is when we want to manage complications and treat established lesions.
Yes, before we go there, I mean, you're the expert, yes. So you can, if someone visits for dental check, you can easily identify, oh, this is this, you have to do this. But on the regular level, I mean, doing all the right things, maintaining a good oral hygiene is good, but how do you know that, you know, there's something wrong somewhere, even before you even say, okay, let me visit the dentist? Okay, now, if you want to wait till you will know whether something is wrong in your mouth, you may be reporting at a very terminal stage. Like, do you stand in the mirror sometimes and open your mouth, check your teeth? You look, of course, if you look at a mirror, you will see if there are things like plaque and calculus. You know, when there are foreign bodies or stains or deposits all around your teeth, you will see that easily. But the cavities, it's funny, it takes time. Like from the initiation process, that incipient caries stage to frank cavitation can be up to like 3 years or more. So you may not really know. And then another thing is, maybe when you eat, and then you see food particle lodge into holes in your mouth. Yeah. And I forgot to mention something. Flossing is also very important. Flossing is very important. Apart from brushing, you should use dental floss to clean in between the teeth. That also helps to reduce the plaque and calculus, and also helps to reduce the bacterial load in your mouth too. So that's what you need to do. For you to wait to see any sign of tooth decay before you come, it might be coming at a time when you might need to either have to remove or have to do more advanced procedure. So for you to maintain good oral hygiene, what you should be doing is learn to visit your dentist at least twice every 6 months. As the therapist or the dentist is washing your mouth, they can discover those cavities when they are very small, which you may not know, because it's not, at that stage, it's not painful. It's towards the terminal stage that it becomes very painful, when it has entered deep into the tooth structure. Right, and what about, does this cause sensitivity in the teeth as well?
Yes, it does. It's one of the signs. Sometimes when at the level of the enamel, because the enamel is outer covering of the tooth, at that level it will not be painful. But the dentin has dentinal tubules are quite sensitive. So when it gets to that level, it becomes very sensitive. Then when it gets to the pulp, that's even the worst of it. So at that initial stage, when it's at the level of the enamel, it's easier to restore. In fact, they say restoration at that level is cheaper and it's better. The outcome is usually better when you start early, unlike waiting for you to get to that terminal stage.
All right, we'll continue this discussion in a moment. Let's just take a short break. When we return, will be time for you to join the discussion, and the number to call is 080-804-2211. I believe that's the number. It should be displayed on the screen so that you can see it. Do stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
For this area, everybody's available. My name is Chukwudi, but people they call me Fearless Chooks. I know they fear
What thing happen when I see you run inside like this?
Okay, landlord, malaria don't catch my wife.
Fearless Chooks, they fear malaria where it gets attended. Anytime we malaria show face, I might give my people, bam, malaria will just run.
Because I beg, I need cassette.
You mean cassette?
Yes. Okay, landlord.
Chooks, kaga mutane na an samu lafiya.
The shoe, Kesatem work.
Cassette, Evano.
Kesatem, a combination of Artemether and lumefantrine. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your medical doctor.
Welcome back to the program. We've been talking with Dr. Victor Wadubike, a consultant family dentist, and you can join us on the program. There's a number being displayed on your screen, 0808-054-2233, if you want to call in to join the discussion. Maybe you have 1 or 2 questions to ask the consultant. So where were we? We were talking about tooth decay.
And then the factors responsible for it.
Yes.
And then how to prevent it.
Yes. So when do you seek? You say one should visit the dentist every 6 months. Every 6 months. Yes. What about children? If we can talk about children.
Same applies to
yeah.
Kids. Same applies to kids. The thing is that then to prevent, you might need to add something like what we call fissure sealants, because they have deep pits and fissures in their teeth. For adults, due to oral activity, you have the grinding down or the occlusal surface tends to even out. But for children, you still have those very deep pits and fissures. That's why if you look at the mouth, it's not flat. The teeth, the surface is not flat. It's indurated. So at the very deepest point, that is what we call the pit. It's usually a reservoir for bacteria. So you have to learn to do what we call fissure sealant for them. And then they also need the scaling and polishing too. Children need the scaling and polishing. They need the toothbrushing. They have their own toothbrush. And then again, there's about fluoride content of, they have children toothpaste and they have adult toothpaste.
Right. Right. Okay. So let's just pause it there. We have a call. Issa is calling from Bauchi. Issa, please give us your contribution.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
How are you? How is work?
Fine, thank you.
My regard to the doctor.
Thank you.
Okay, can you tell us what you want to say?
Okay, so please, I want the doctor to help me clarify what is causing that the teeth. Sometimes even if you go for wash, they wash it. and even if one is having brush, but I don't know whether it is for specific kind of people or not, but mostly you see the teeth have some one very yellow stain on the teeth, so I don't know what is causing it.
Could you repeat that? We didn't hear you properly.
Please, I want the doctor to shed more light on that. There is stain on the teeth. Like that. Okay, I have no idea. Have you heard of that? That's it?
We couldn't hear you properly. Is that scale or stain?
I cannot hear you anymore.
I believe he said stain. Maybe the coloration of the teeth,
well,
yes.
For coloration, we have what we call intrinsic stain, and we have extrinsic stain. I don't know which one he's talking about now. For extrinsic stains, those are the ones that are exterior, as the name implies. They are outside. But the intrinsic are usually during the process of tooth formation, like enamel hypoplasia or tetracycline staining and the likes. So I don't know what he's talking about now, but for staining generally, if it is extrinsic, it is easier for us to manage with that scaling and polishing. They are meant to be doing every 6 months. Now, again, this brings out another touchy issue about teeth whitening or bleaching. You know, it's unfortunate that a lot of areas, people are doing it in shops and spas and stuff like that. That procedure is a specialized procedure for dental practitioners, especially those who call restorative dentists. You understand? So he can also go for that. If he has a very strong stain that has refused to go after scaling and polishing, he can go for tooth bleaching or teeth whitening. That can also help him. So if he goes, the stain is not going through manual scaling and polishing, he can try something a little bit more professional and deeper, which is tooth bleaching. I'm sure that can take care of his condition. Aside that too, he can do what we call veneers or crowning. There are different layers to it, depending on the severity at the time of presentation.
Right. We also have Simon calling from Kogi. Simon, good afternoon, and go ahead with your question.
My question is that, supposing you have a hole, your teeth is having a problem. Can it be restored back?
Thank you.
I got you right. Yes. Capital yes. It can be restored back. In fact, at any stage of tooth decay, it can be restored. It's just that there are specific restoration methods or techniques at the time of, depending on the time of presentation. So for a tooth that is presented with a cavity that is resting on the enamel, considering the depth of the enamel, average of maybe 2 mm to 2.5, you know the kind of restorative material you will use for it to stay. If it goes beyond that, of course, you know those who have very strong bonding agent that can bond to the dentin. If you get to the pulp, which is the innermost layer of the tooth, you might be thinking about endodontic procedure, which is more advanced. So at any stage of presentation, there's always an answer to tooth decay by the dentist, especially when you are qualified and trained properly.
Right, I must thank you. I've run out of time. I've been chatting with Dr. Victor Wabudike, a consultant family dentist. Thank you so much again for coming on the show.
The time is short. I wish you could stay longer.
Well, let's now serve you some of the stories making the rounds on the local and foreign scenes.
Nigeria has called for coordinated and sustained regional response to eradicating Lassa fever and other emerging infectious diseases. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohamed Pate, made the remark at the opening ceremony of the ECOWAS Lassa Fever International Conference 2025 in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Professor Pate emphasized that Lassa fever has continued to claim lives for decades, threatening health systems, attacking frontline workers, and undermining regional health security.
Across West Africa, Lassa fever continues to pose serious threats to lives, livelihoods, and health systems. Nigeria, like several of our neighbors, has borne a significant share of the burden. Earlier today, we had the ministerial roundtable to discuss how we can collectively push for a vaccine over time that can help us prevent this disease. And I urge all the scientists, the civil society organizations to really lean in to advocate. Not only do we need to strengthen our national health systems, improve our primary health care, build our frontline workers, engage our communities, but importantly, to foster the research and development and innovation, foster the development of diagnostic tools and vaccines, because ultimately, this disease is local to us.
To Ogun State, where the government has demonstrated a public health concern over cases across the state, warning residents to take urgent preventive measures against the potentially fatal disease. This public health alert is contained in a statement issued by the Ogun State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Coker, who stressed that vaccination remains the most effective protection. Diphtheria is a highly contagious bacterial infection which can easily spread through coughing, sneezing, or close contact to an infected person. Symptoms of diphtheria include sore throat, fever, swollen neck, difficulty in breathing or swallowing, and a thick gray or white coating in the throat or nose. The Commissioner strongly encourages parents to ensure that children receive all recommended routine immunizations while advising all residents to practice good hygiene, avoid close contact with persons showing symptoms, and seek early medical treatment instead of self-medicating. Global cholera statistics for the year 2024 published by the World Health Organization shows an increase in both the number of people who fell sick and died from cholera. Reported cholera cases rose by 5% and deaths by 50% in 2024 compared to 2023, with more than 6,000 people dying from a disease that is both preventable and treatable. While these numbers are themselves alarming, the WHO said they are underestimates of the true burden of cholera. Conflict, climate change, population displacement, and long-term deficiencies in water, sanitation, and hygiene infrastructure continue to fuel the rise of cholera, a disease caused by the bacterium Vibrio cholerae, which spreads rapidly through feces-contaminated water. 60 countries reported cases in 2024, an increase from 45 in 2023. The burden of the disease remains concentrated in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, which collectively accounted for 98% of all reported cases. To combat cholera, the World Health Organization is asking governments, donors, and communities to ensure people have access to safe water and hygiene facilities, have accurate information on how to protect themselves, and rapid access to treatment and vaccination when there are outbreaks. Strong surveillance and diagnostics will help guide these responses. Further investment in vaccine production is also needed.
A healthy smile is more than just a cosmetic asset. It's a window into an individual's overall well-being. Oral health is a vital part of our body's intricate system. Take care of it and don't take it for granted. That's Health Matters for this week. Thank you for being with us. Continue to stay with us on Channels Television for all our programming. I'm Joke Rogers. Bye for now.